Good morning, everybody. It's Jeff Goldberg for the Sales Pro Network. Oh boy, I'm hearing some feedback.
Oh, let me turn that. Let me.
It's our guest, of course.
Because my thing is no. The reason you're hearing feedback is because my computer audio.
Okay. I think we're better now. Okay, once again, it's Jeff Goldberg for the Sales Pro Network. Good morning. It's Friday, November 1st. Whoa, it's the last 2 months of the year. Before I introduce you to our guest, I'd like to tell you that I am a sales coach and trainer. I work with individuals and organizations to help them increase their sales. And I founded the Sales Pro Network to elevate the profession of sales, to give salespeople a place to network with each other, to learn, to ask questions, to get advice. And if you've joined us before, you know that every Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, we either do a live training or a live interview with somebody who can add value to the profession of sales. And once again, my friends, I've come through for you. Before I do bring up our guest, although you can certainly see his handsome face, we're at the last 2 months of the year. I know it seems impossible, but we're actually at the last 2 months of the year, and we're just 4 weeks away. If you're listening to us here in the United States, we're 4 weeks away from Thanksgiving, and that means any moment now, you're going to start hearing excuses like, call me after the holidays. An excuse is exactly that. It's just an excuse, and you got to get it out of your head that it's a valid one. I would be asking people, I'm just curious, what's going to change between now and the end of the year? Because typically at the end of the year, there's one of two things that could happen. Either they're working really, really hard to close as much business as they can, or they're kind of taking it easy. Either one, it's okay to talk to them now. Don't accept excuses. Keep pushing all the way through because you can still hit or exceed your goals. And with that, I'd like to introduce you to today's guest. He's the CEO of Ajax Union, which is a B2B digital marketing agency. He's both a LinkedIn and an AI expert. I don't know how he keeps up with all this stuff. He's the developer of Evy AI, which we'll talk about today. He's an extraordinary network. He's the author of at least 6 books that I know in his high energy series. And get this, almost 50,000 people follow him on LinkedIn to hear what he's saying every day. And he's on there all day long saying useful stuff. Please welcome, and by the way, I'm honored to call this gentleman a friend. Please welcome my friend, Joe Apfelbaum. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm so happy to be here. You can't hear me?
Can we pick up the volume just a little bit?
Let me see. Can you hear me better now? Can you hear me better now? What about now? Hang on.
Maybe it's my, nope, it's not the volume here. All right.
Let me see. Audio, Rodecaster Pro, echo cancellation. So I'm gonna turn off automatically adjust volume and increase it manually. How about
That's a little bit better.
Okay, I'm gonna take it to the top. How about 200? Is this better? Mic check 1 2.
I think we need 400, but that's okay.
Okay.
So, Joe, why don't you, before we get started with the 1,000,001 questions I have for you about LinkedIn and AI today, and also networking, tell us a little bit about yourself. What's your history? What brought you up to do what you do?
So what brought me up to do what I do is I started off building websites for people. And the famous saying is, if you build it, they will come. Have you ever built something and then nobody just came to it? Like, have you ever become a salesperson and then nobody called you? You're like sitting by the phone and you're like, can someone call me, please? Somebody call me, anybody, right? And then nobody calls you. Why? Why is nobody calling you? It's not because you're not worthy of getting calls. It's because you're not doing the things that you need to do in order to get people to call you, which in some cases it's advertising. If you can't afford advertising, in some cases it's networking, or it's putting yourself online or using artificial intelligence. But I didn't know this early on because early on in my career, I heard the saying, if you build it, they will come. And you hear things and you believe things. And so I built a lot of websites for a lot of people. And I got really good, proficient at building websites. But I was terrible at getting people to come to the website. So when my customers started coming to me and saying, hey, can you help me get traffic? I said, let me look into this. And I got really good at marketing and I got really good at getting people. And so I was so good, in fact, that people started referring me all over, and we grew Ajax Union to be one of the fastest growing companies in America, providing search engine optimization services to 1,100 clients. And we were featured on the Inc. 500. We were number 178, doing millions of dollars in revenue. What I found was that not every client is created equal. Just because I'm working with somebody doesn't mean I have the opportunity to upsell them. And so I had to become more choosy with the types of customers that I was getting. And for that, I had to start networking and building relationships, because the type of client you get from a cold call is very different than the type of client that you get from a referral. And so I started networking and I started getting customers that were 100 times bigger. So instead of paying me a few $100s a month, they were paying me tens of thousands of dollars a month. And I said, this is how I'm really going to scale and get to a $10 million level. Well, at some point, the whole business transitioned. The whole business, COVID happened. Everything went global. I started training people on how to use LinkedIn because I realized that LinkedIn is a 24/7 networking event. And I got obsessed with LinkedIn, so much so that when AI came out, I asked AI to help me be able to build some type of technology, some type of ideas, and it gave me several ideas, and I implemented 2 of those ideas successfully. One of them is the AI Circle, where every single month I teach sales professionals how to use AI. I call it the AI Business Development Circle, evergreen.com/AI Circle. And for 3 hours, we did our 13th session this past Monday. And you could watch a 3-hour video for free on the landing page. So I put a sample video there. I took one month, and I put 3 hours on there without even putting your credit card or even your email or anything. You can watch a 3-hour video. And then the second thing that AI told me to come out with was a technology. And we have clients in 37 countries around the world, Jeff, including Barbados, that are using our AI for LinkedIn that is an assistant. Now, I always tell salespeople, you either have an assistant that's supporting you, or you are an assistant doing all the administrative tasks. One of the tasks that my assistant does for me is that they'll draft an email for me, or they'll draft a DM for me because I'm busy doing these things like podcasts, or I'm busy on sales calls, and I don't have the time to draft a response to someone in the DM. But now you can have an assistant that will help you do this called Evy AI, and it'll draft something for you. It's not going to send it for you. It'll draft it for you with a click of a button, or it'll dictate. I don't know if you're ever on the phone running, talking to your assistant, telling your assistant to type something up for you. But I have several full-time assistants. Sometimes they call me up and they're like, Joe, I'm recording this. Can you say whatever you want me to say? And then da-da-da. Now, Evy AI has a microphone built into it that you can speak into it, and you can just have it type up whatever you want it to say. And so having an assistant on LinkedIn can really help you take your business to the next level. And I'm grateful that I have 15,000 people using Evy AI. My goal is to help 1 million people on LinkedIn. I don't know if you know this, Jeff, but there are 1 billion people using LinkedIn, and it's growing at a rate of 3 new people, 3 new users every single second. It's growing really quickly, and LinkedIn has a goal to get to 3 billion users as more people are joining the internet, as more people are joining the workforce. One of the things I love the most for salespeople about LinkedIn is that LinkedIn, you can see everybody's first name, last name, company name, underwear size. Just kidding. You can't see their underwear size. For that, you have to go to Instagram. But what I want to let you know is that LinkedIn is so powerful. When I get on a call with Jeff Goldberg, I know what he's up to because I look on LinkedIn. I see what he posted about. I see what events he went to. I see what school he went to before that, what job he had, the fact that he's a stand-up comic. I see so much information about people on LinkedIn and their mutual connections to know what circles he's in, what circles she's in. Like, think about that. I see who recommended him and the recommendations to see who his clients are. I get so much info. When I go on TikTok, I just see Big Betty 2431. That's all I see. And by the way, sometimes I like to see Big Betty 2475. But on LinkedIn, I like to network, build relationships, because my mindset is not jumping up and down on a trampoline. That's what I did this morning on Instagram. But my mindset is having fun and connecting with people and authentically connecting and building those relationships.
Just waiting to see if there was more. Thank you.
There's so much more. I just want to give you a little room to get in there.
I know. Joe, you know that you and I both speak quickly. We use what we call the fire hose approach when we're working with people. But Pete Ekstrom wants to know, whoa. What was that web address again?
So it's EVYRGREEN.com. So it's evergreen with a Y in it. And people say, Joe, why are you putting a Y in evergreen? I said, why not? It's a good question. Why not? Because evergreen.com was not available with an ER, so it's YR, EVYR, green, GREEN.com, /AI Circle. And that will enable you to be able to access our AI Business Development Circle. We meet every single month. If you sign up right now, you also get a course with 9 modules, checklists, frameworks, cheat sheets, and more. But the key is that you'll be able to watch this past Monday's 3-hour session and every session we did before that. So this past Monday, we taught a bunch of things, including how to create a podcast. So if you're a sales rep and you want to be able to create a podcast about your product, you can upload a bunch of text about your product into Google, and then it'll create 2 people talking about your product. And I put a video about that recently on LinkedIn, but I showed step by step how to be able to do that in our class. And I shared 20 other things. And I wrote a LinkedIn post about the 20 other things that I shared, including cloning your voice, including creating AI avatars, including creating proposals and presentations and doing research and getting lists of prospects and figuring out exactly what to say to clients. And we're going to get into some of those things that salespeople can do with AI. But I just want to give Jeff a testimonial. Jeff is one of the most incredible, fantastic, wonderful sales trainers you'll ever meet. If you haven't had a conversation with him, click on his Calendly link on his profile, or click on the comments of this profile. I'm sure he'll put his Calendly link there, and set up a consultation with him, because Jeff Goldberg will change the way that you do sales. If you haven't experienced the Jeff Goldberg sales training experience, I highly recommend that you check it out, because it's one of the most effective sales training methods that I have ever used in my business. I actually closed a $20,000 deal last month because of Jeff Goldberg's strategies. So if you're not using the Jeff Goldberg strategies, or maybe you don't want to hire him personally, maybe take one of his courses. He has 2 courses that I know that are available that I have personally taken, and I think they have transformed the way that I do sales. This is one of the reasons that I'm always commenting on his posts, is because I trust Jeff as my sales advisor, and you should trust him too.
All right, it doesn't get any better than that, so I'm just going to end. Thank you very much, Joe. That was perfect. That was a great commercial.
Bye, everybody. See you later.
Actually, we're going to stick around a little while longer and get some more wisdom from Joe. Joe, maybe if you would put the link to the website in the comments, so that, because you and I do talk fast, and Pete, I know Pete wants it. But I do have a bunch of questions for you, and I know you can multitask and type and talk to me at the same time. And I do want to start with AI. AI is on everybody's mind today. All you hear about is AI, well, politics and AI. And hopefully after next week, we won't have to hear too much about politics anymore. But at any rate.
Well, hopefully it'll just be done, and it'll be done.
Pete says, take Jeff to Il Molino. He knows I like that restaurant in the city. All right. Everybody knows me too well. Maybe I have too much information on LinkedIn, but let's talk about AI. What do we need to know about it? How can salespeople use AI to develop more business?
The first thing you need to do is build a relationship with the concept of artificial intelligence. 60% of people are afraid of AI, and they're not willing to engage with it. I'm not talking about afraid of technology. Besides that, about 30% of people are just afraid of technology, period. They're afraid of making a mistake. They're afraid of breaking it. They're afraid of getting hacked. But 60% of people that are not afraid of technology are afraid of artificial intelligence, because for decades we've been trained that AI is going to take our jobs and that AI is going to kill us. And then the news is like trying to create fear around AI. The CEO of NVIDIA said publicly last week, he said the following. He said, AI is not going to take over a salesperson's job. It can't. It can't do everything a salesperson can do. It just can't. It can do 20% of your job. It can do 50% of your job, but it can't do 100% of your job. So it's not going to take over your job. The thing is, the 20% that it can do better than a sales rep, the 50% that it can do it better. It can do it so much better, in fact. It can do it 1,000 times better than you. And so if you can put AI as a tool that you're not afraid of anymore, and you're leveraging to make 20% of your job 1,000 times better, you're going to take over the job of the people that don't know how to use AI and haven't used it yet. So think about this. You want to do research on a prospect. You can do research manually, or you can use a tool called Perplexity. And that tool will do research on the internet for you, so that when you speak to a prospect, you have tons of information on that prospect. If you learn this concept called prompt engineering, and write that down in the chat if you're watching this live right now, write the word prompt engineering in the chat. If you learn the concept of how to use prompt engineering, you can use Gemini, you can use ChatGPT, you can use Perplexity, you can use Grok. There's so many different tools that you can use, and you can start using those tools because now you know how to speak to the tool in a proper way. One of the things I learned from Jeff Goldberg is if you want to get the right results from clients, you need to ask the right questions. He has a meditation that he does with you, and then he solicits hundreds of questions out of your head that prospects might ask you, and he has a special game he plays with his clients where he trains them on how to figure out the top 7 questions and how to get the perfect answers for those questions. And he has this whole amazing process. That's why I trust Jeff. But what I want to let you know is when it comes to communicating with AI, you can play a game like that as well. And the AI needs to be trained just like any sales rep needs to be trained, just like any assistant needs to be trained. So In the chat, write, I need to train my AI. Because AI is going to be a robot by default. If you want it to sound more human, guess what you need to do? You got to make it sound more human by training it to sound more human. Because otherwise, it's trained to be a computer. That's what it is. It is an actual computer. And no, it's not going to kill you yet. So what I want to let you know is that AI is your friend. Make your assistant your friend. Some people think that their employees are their enemy. Don't think your employee is your enemy. Make your employee your friend. Stop worrying that your employee is going to steal your business. Stop worrying about that your employee is going to steal your friend. Instead, train your employee, make your employee yours, help your employee become more effective, and help it make 20 or 50% of your job 1,000 times better. Jeff, does that resonate with you?
It does. And you brought up a term that I wanted to ask you about, which is prompt engineering. Today, if we're going to be successful, and I completely agree, by the way, I don't think AI is going to take away sales jobs, at least not anytime soon. But the salesperson that learns to embrace AI is going to succeed way quicker and way better than the person who doesn't. And we do need to be good prompt engineers. So can you tell us, what is a prompt engineer? And can you maybe give us an example of a prompt that we might use in sales, maybe for prospecting?
So here's an example of a bad prompt. And here's an example of a great prompt. Let's say, for example, you want to be able.
I'm sorry. A prompt is just something you type in that you're saying, "Here's what I want you to give me." Yes.
Yeah. So your prompt, you're writing a sentence. Here's a good sentence that you send AI, and here's a bad sentence that you send AI. Okay. We'll start with the bad sentence because most people want to hear the bad before they want to hear the good. So a bad sentence would be something like, let's say you want to go into one of the tools. I don't know. Has anybody ever used ChatGPT? Just say yes or no in the chat. Say yes, I've used ChatGPT, or no, I've not used ChatGPT. I'm curious to know how many of you have used it, how many of you have not used ChatGPT. And by the way, if you're on YouTube, watching this on YouTube right now, hit that like button and subscribe button. If you're on LinkedIn watching this, hit that like button and hit that repost button so a few more people see it. But what I'm curious to know, if you use ChatGPT, what's the first thing that you do with ChatGPT is you start typing something in. Now, if you want to train ChatGPT with who you are, you could just say, hi, my name is Jeff Goldberg. I'm a sales trainer. You can do that. You can do that to ChatGPT, and that's it. Or you can say, you can create a mega prompt, which is a paragraph of information that you sent to ChatGPT, and we have 1,000 of these mega prompts available for you inside our AI business development circle for salespeople. So check this out. Create a persona for Jeff Goldberg to use with AI. Here's the information from his LinkedIn below. Use this as a framework for the format. Also, brainstorm 5 topic ideas for LinkedIn posts that are informational, related to the sales industry, and have actionable sales tips that anyone can benefit from if they're a sales professional or sales manager. Also include his target market so that he has ideas for the geographic, demographic, and psychographic for his persona. Continued, next line. Here's the framework to use based on the AI persona for Jeff Goldberg. Name, industry, title, keywords, professional interests, achievements, skills, communication style, tone, preferred phrases, taboos. Let's keep this one professional. Business interests, hobbies, educational background, goals, networking, content, personal info. Here are some additional things that we can train you with. General emotion, inspirational, positive, negative, bored, happy, excited. Language style, short sentences, passive voice, complex vocabulary. Question frequency, formality level. Pronoun principle. Do you want it to be first person or third person? Feelings toward work, stressed, proud, excited, funny. Tone, passionate, casual, friendly. Personality, playful, neutral, sarcastic, serious, analytical, annoyed. Writing style, provide 5 adjectives and examples of Jeff's writing. Now, you give that to the AI, what do you think the AI is going to do better than just saying, act like Jeff Goldberg? Which one do you think is better? The mega prompt or the crappy prompt? Put that in the chat. Write the word mega prompt if you believe the mega prompt I just gave you is an epic mega prompt. And if you want the prompt, just write, I want the prompt. And someone on my team will respond with the prompt. Just write, I want the prompt, and someone on my team will respond with the prompt. So my question to you is, what I want you to know is, do you need to learn AI, or are you an AI expert? Okay, so some people think they're already an expert. Some people are not willing to do it. But if you need to learn AI, just write in the chat, I need to learn AI, because you're going to self-acknowledge that, you know what, I actually need to join some type of program to learn AI on a regular basis because it's changing constantly. Today's mega prompt is not going to be the same mega prompt as next year, but we have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of mega prompts. We have 1,000 mega prompts that we prepared for salespeople inside our program.
And Joe, one of the things that you taught me, which I found to be incredibly useful, is let's say you type in a mega prompt, exactly what you just said, and it spits out a bunch of great stuff, but you go, not quite right. I can then go back in and without having to start over, go, could we make it more friendly? Or I'm a stand-up comedian. Could you say it with a sense of humor? And it'll completely change, or it'll at least slightly change it to be more in line with what you're looking for, right?
Yeah, even when you're using our AI for LinkedIn, let's say you're using Evy AI, and you're on LinkedIn and you want to leave a comment with Evy AI. And by the way, if you want to see a demonstration video of Evy AI, you can have one of my agents send you a text message with a demo video. All you got to do is send the word demo to 973-841-8868.
What were the last four digits?
973-841-8868. Send the word demo via text. And then see what happens, because my AI agent will go ahead and send you the word demo, send you a demonstration video to Evy AI so you can watch it later. Don't watch it now because we're in the middle of having a conversation. But 973-841-8868, you send that and my agent will reply with a demonstration video. Jeff, your video went off. I don't know if you know that.
Okay. It's happened a couple of times in the last couple of weeks. You can still hear me, right?
Yeah, I can still hear you. Ladies and gentlemen, do we want to see Jeff on video or do we want him not to be on video? Question. This is a very, very important question. Do we want to see? I personally want to see a Shane Punim because I love his smile, I love his energy, I love everything about Jeff. But if you want to see Jeff's Shane Punim, just say I want to see a Shane Punim. If you're not sure how to spell Shane Punim, just write I want to see his beautiful face. But if you know how to spell Shane Punim, or you want to take a chance to see if Jeff, if you know how to write in Yiddish, just try it. Write Shane Punim in the chat if you want to see a Shane Punim.
Is there anything somebody gets for free by knowing how to spell Shane Punim?
Yes. If you know how to spell Shane Punim perfectly, you will get free access to our Evy AI community, which is AI for LinkedIn. I'll send you a link personally. Anyone that writes Shane Punim in the chat, if you spell it correctly, you'll get free access. If you misspell it, you're going to have to pay $97 a month.
All right. I want to stick with AI for another second or two. How about prospecting? One of every coaching client that comes to me, every training client that comes to me, they have the same problem. They're just not seeing enough prospects. And it doesn't matter how good you are at selling. If you're not seeing enough prospects, you can't close enough business. So how can AI help us prospect more effectively?
Well, the way that AI can help you prospect more effectively is by helping you identify a list of people that you should be reaching out to. A lot of the times you're not sure what your niche is or who you should be reaching out to. So AI can help a salesperson not only pick their niche, but also identify who those people are, who those companies are they should be getting into, and so on. So if you're not using AI for prospecting or for research or brainstorming or strategy, that would be number one. Number two is it can help you create content that is more effective content. So for example, one of the mega prompts that I use is what are the pains, goals, dreams, and fears of my target market? Make sure to create a table that is numbered, and in each one dictate the pains, goals, fears, and dreams, and then create messaging that would resonate with that persona based on the persona I shared below. And so you do that, and all of a sudden you get a beautiful table in ChatGPT or Claude or Grok or Gemini, and you're getting all their pains, goals, dreams, and fears, and now you're able to create messaging that resonates with them instead of trying to sell them. People don't like being sold. Jeffrey Gitomer, the king of sales, said, people hate being sold, but they love to buy. And one of the things that I heard him say recently on his new landing page, he has a landing page that he created because he created his own AI. One of the things that he said recently is that AI is not going to be replaced by salespeople are not going to be replaced by AI. Salespeople are going to be replaced by other people that know how to use AI, by other salespeople that know how to use AI. Why? Because those salespeople are going to know how to prospect. They're going to know what to do. They're going to know what to say. So if you say the wrong thing to a prospect, you're screwed. They're going to ignore you, right? Think about that. You send somebody an InMail in Sales Navigator. By the way, if you use Sales Navigator, write Sales Navigator in the chat. I'm curious to know who uses Sales Navigator, because Evy AI works within Sales Navigator. So if you save a prospect to a list, Evy AI can help you draft a comment whenever they post, because Sales Navigator will tell you when your prospect posts. So if you're not top of mind with your prospect, how's this prospect supposed to remember when the timing is right? Because timing is everything in sales. I could be in front of a CEO 1,000 times, but if the CEO is not ready to buy right now, he's not qualified because he doesn't have the BANT, the budget, authority, need, or timing. if the timing is not right and I'm not top of mind with him, if you're not top of mind at the right time, it's not going to work. So if you save a list of 1,000 leads into Sales Navigator that are the most ideal leads, let's say you're targeting facilities managers in New York City that are in charge of buildings that have more than 50 units, whatever, right? Let's say you do that, and you find 1,000 of them and you put them into a list in Sales Navigator, and now you're getting alerts with the 30% that are posting every month. And you're not leaving a comment on their posts. Well, when they're ready to buy whatever furniture you're selling or whatever consulting you're selling or whatever it is that you're selling, they're not going to pick you because they didn't remember that you existed. But if you're in their comments constantly, they can't forget you. One of the reasons why Jeff can't forget me is besides the fact that we're a brother from another mother, is that I'm always in his comments. Go to most of his posts on LinkedIn. I am obsessed with Jeff, with his concepts, with his ideas. And if you look at his comments, you'll see the only other person commenting than me and maybe Chris or I see the people that are commenting onto there. Maybe Tammy's commenting on his stuff. But I'm in there. I'm in his posts, and you'll see me there very, very often. And the reason you'll see me there is because I value him as a center of influence. And that's the other thing that I recommend that you do, is that make sure that you leave comments for your centers of influence on LinkedIn. Your centers of influence are the people that are in the position to refer business to you. Jeff Goldberg is a sales trainer. That means he works with sales teams. I want to work with sales teams too. And so he wants to work with my clients, so he leaves comments on my posts. I want to work with his clients, so I leave comments on his posts. And together we support each other's posts. So think about that for a second. If you're a salesperson and you don't have a list of sales of centers of influence that you can comment on a regular basis, then you're majorly missing out. And if you're not using AI to help you be more effective, you can be 1,000 times better with AI. That's the key.
Joe, hang on, because you just brought up an important point. It's easy for Joe and I to comment on each other. We are friends. We know each other. But I also noticed that you are also often, very often, commenting on what I'll call megastars. Like I see you're constantly commenting on Gary Vaynerchuk. Why is that?
Because Gary Vaynerchuk has 5.4 million followers. And if you want to get exposure to a percentage of his followers, all you got to do is leave a comment on his post. If you're a sales rep and you know that Kevin Harrington speaks to your target market, if you know that Barbara Corcoran or that Damon John or any of the Shark Tank people or any of the popular personalities in your network are targeting your target market and you're not leaving comments on their posts, you're just missing out a huge opportunity to be able to connect with the right people. I see my clients, people that have paid me money. Shane and Punim. I love that. I love that we're having fun here. I love that we're having fun. Gregory, you're the man. I love that. And I love that people are like on YouTube and are on LinkedIn and are on Facebook and are just connecting from all over the place.
Joe, is this the correct spelling for perplexity?
Yes, that's how you spell perplexity, Ian. And by the way, if you're not sure how to spell it, you can always go Google Perplexity AI, and Google will help correct the spelling for it. Just FYI.
Now, Joe, one of the ways I work with companies is as an outsourced sales manager and a consultant sometimes. And often I'm helping them develop email cadences. And I often use AI to develop email cadences. But I personally have a rule, and I'd like to know what you think about it. I never, ever take what it spits out without looking at it and editing it, because as good as somebody might be at prompting, it still needs to be reviewed by a human. Yes, or am I completely off here?
Let me take that to the next level. If you want to be successful with working with an assistant, with a human assistant, forget about the perfect computer, right? If you want to be effective at delegation, you can't just let your assistant just go off and do stuff, because then you'll complain that if I want to redo it myself, I may as well do it myself, right? It's not going to work. If you're working with an assistant, you got to monitor what they're doing, and you got to make sure to make some changes to whatever they're going to communicate on your behalf, because most of the time they're going to get it 80% there, but they're not going to get it 100% there. That's even the most well-trained assistant that's been working with you for 10 years. They're going to get it 80% there. Now, AI is the same way. It's just an assistant. So what if it's technology? So what if it has no legs and no arms? Well, soon it's going to have legs and arms. But so what if it doesn't have body parts? Well, soon it's going to have organic body parts. It doesn't matter. The key is treat it like an assistant, the same way you would treat an assistant. It gets you 80% there. It's not meant for you to just replace you. Remember, the CEO of NVIDIA said AI is not here to replace you. It's here to assist you. It's here to help you do 20% of your job 1,000 times better. So that means it's going to draft a post for you. You're going to go to evyai.com. That's evyai.com. You're going to log in and you're going to create a post. And when you create a post, it's going to be 80% there. It's not going to be 100% there. You're then going to modify that post and spend 2 minutes modifying it versus spending 20 minutes writing it from scratch. And that's going to give you that 1,000 times leverage if you do that every single day. So every day you're going to log in to evyai.com and you're going to write a post. You're going to come up with ideas using the idea generator inside evyai.com. And yes, it works on mobile as well. You can go to evyai.com from your mobile phone, and you can generate a post right now. You can do it from the computer, you can do it from your phone, and you're going to do it every day because you're going to get hooked on writing content every day because it's going to become much easier for you to write content with Evy AI. Same thing with any other tool. If you're going to create a 5-step email sequence like Jeff does, you think it's going to get it perfect? First of all, it's not going to get it perfect if you're not using our mega prompts because there's no way it's going to get it ever close to perfect because you haven't trained it on who your prospect is. You haven't gone through the goals, the pains, the dreams, the fears of your ideal clients. You're not talking about what's in it for them. But even if you did train it properly and you are using it correctly, you still need to modify it just like you would modify a human being's content. Does that make sense?
Yes, and I want to talk more about Evy AI, but apparently Gregory follows me on Facebook because he says he worked in the kosher deli for nearly a decade. He knows his fair share of Yiddish, just like I know my fair share of pastrami and Lido Kosher. Lido Kosher, one of the best delis in New York, period, and that's saying a lot. And it's right here where I live in Long Beach, and their pastrami is like heaven. It's just unbelievable.
Guys, if you like pastrami, write pastrami in the chat. I'm curious to know how many pastrami fans there are. I'm a huge fan of hot pastrami. I love hot pastrami. I should make a song about hot pastrami at some point in the future. Let's get together, Jeff, and make a song about hot pastrami and sales.
Fair enough. With mushrooms on it.
Oh my God, amazing. I love lion's mane mushrooms. I love shiitake mushrooms. I love all types of mushrooms.
I know you do. So let's get back to what Evy AI actually is. It's an add-on to LinkedIn that anybody can purchase. Well, you have a free version, yes, and a paid version.
Yeah, so you can try it.
How to get it, what does it do, and what's the difference between the free and the paid version?
Yeah, so if you go to evyai.com and you register for free with no credit card required, you'll be able to try out all the features of Evy AI. You'll be able to save profiles with the Chrome extension, generate posts. You'll be able to generate comments, generate direct messages. You'll be able to write posts, generate ideas. You'll be able to do a lot of things, even save templates, even use your voice inside of LinkedIn. It has a microphone in LinkedIn. So you can leave a comment by just talking and it'll write up the comment and then it can rewrite it in any tone and any voice and so on. So you can use it with no credit card required. If you want to upgrade because you want to use it every day and you want unlimited access to the voice, you want unlimited access, you have two options. You could either upgrade for $34 per month or you can upgrade for $17 per month when you prepay for the year. So we're giving a 50% off promotion today. So if you're watching this or you're watching the replay, go check if the promotion is available and grab it now because we are going to be increasing our prices. We're soon going to be charging $100 a month because we add that much value. So if you get in right now, you'll be grandfathered into the unlimited price where that unlimited price is going to soon be $100 a month. So I recommend you're getting the deal while we're still offering it. We have people in 37 countries using it right now. 15,000 people. It's just an amazing product, and you can try it with no credit card required. Now, if you want to get your team on it as well, once you sign up, you can click on subscriptions, and then you can purchase it for your entire team. We just had a team called Atlantic Tomorrow's Office. They purchased 62 licenses, and they just did it themselves. They clicked 62, they pressed buy, and then they decided if they want annual or monthly, and then they went to the Teams tab under the subscription, and they were able to add their entire team there, and then their entire team got premium access to Evy AI. So if you want to buy,
how many users do you have now, Joe?
We have 15,000 users in 37 countries around the world.
And when did Evy AI launch?
We registered the business in January.
Not bad, 15,000 users. And what's your goal? Isn't it? Is it 2 million?
I want 1 million people to be using Evy AI every single day. There's 1 billion people on LinkedIn, so I don't think I'm going to get to 1 billion users. But if I can get to 1/10 of 1% of LinkedIn users, I think the business will be able to make the impact. I want to help 1 million people have a voice on LinkedIn, and often people shy away from posting, engaging, and messaging, especially salespeople. There's just 1 million, even real estate agents that are sales. You know, there's hundreds of thousands, millions and millions and millions of people in your industry that are doing sales. So what I recommend is having the leverage by using an assistant on LinkedIn. So if LinkedIn is important to you, then Evy AI needs to be something that you consider using.
Now, Joe, I don't want to turn this whole thing into a sales pitch for you, but you have so many great things that I love. And you have another tool that you recently developed, I think also in about the last 6 months, for use by anybody who sells, not just professional salespeople, but people who have to sell as part of their job. Unlimited digital marketing. And it's an amazing tool. You're kind enough to let me take a look at it. Tell us about that. What does that do? And what is that really used for?
So if you want to use unlimiteddigitalmarketing.com, so it's 2 Ds, you know why, unlimited digital marketing, because it's 3 words, obviously. And so unlimiteddigitalmarketing.com allows you to be able to connect as many social accounts that you want and create reoccurring posts on those accounts. It also allows you to send unlimited emails to unlimited contacts. It also allows you to create calendars and landing pages. It'll basically replace 20 to 30 different tools that you use on a regular basis, whether it's memberships, whether it's courses, whether it's calendars, landing pages, whether it's automations. You can create unlimited automations, sequences. Even the fact that you sent the word demo to 973-841-8868 and you got an instant response, that came from unlimited digital marketing. You get unlimited users, so you can have as many people in your company join that as well, and you could put all of your LinkedIn connections in there and email them all from unlimited digital marketing.
And it also functions as a CRM too, right?
It's a CRM. It has pipeline management within it, so you can create unlimited pipelines, and then you can put people in stages and move them along. So you might be paying $1,000 a month between your entire technology stack. This is here to replace it for a fraction of the cost. And you can get a free trial at unlimiteddigitalmarketing.com. But we do require...
Put that in the chat just now, unlimiteddigitalmarketing.com.
But don't forget the 2Ds. Some people put 1D and they say, oh, it didn't work. I was like, I don't work with 1Ds.
Greg wants to know what's the link. I just put it in the chat, unlimiteddigitalmarketing.com with 2Ds in there.
Exactly. Thank you.
Okay. I want to focus on LinkedIn now because I was playing around on LinkedIn for many, many years until I met you, and I was frustrated with my results and wondering why am I not growing my followers, and why am I wasting my time? And in a very short time in working with you, you gave me some very simple advice and techniques and tips and tools that took me from 700 followers to 7,000 followers in just 12 months. So why do you like LinkedIn so much, and what's new on LinkedIn?
The reason I like LinkedIn so much is because, unlike other platforms, LinkedIn has real people on it. They say that about half of the Instagram people, or the Instagram accounts that are out there, half of those accounts are robot accounts created by China, just to manipulate what's going on in politics, just to manipulate what people are seeing, to manipulate the algorithm. On LinkedIn, people need to verify with their government ID. I don't know if you know this, but you go to linkedin.com/verify. You get a little checkbox next to your name. And if you don't verify, they cancel your account. Simple as that. 38% of people on LinkedIn are paying to use LinkedIn. That means they have the little gold icon. That's 38% of people. So people are paying a monthly fee to use LinkedIn. LinkedIn has more millionaires than any other platform in the world. People that are wealthy, successful, business owners, sales professionals, leaders, executives at companies or non-for-profits, they use LinkedIn. 100% of the Fortune 500 has employees on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is owned by the largest company in the world, Microsoft. They pay $26.2 billion for LinkedIn. LinkedIn is an extremely powerful platform that, if used correctly, you can get in the door direct access with almost any prospect, either as a first-degree or second-degree introduction. And I don't know if you know this, but 80% of introductions turn into conversations. So if Jeff introduces me to the CEO of one of his clients, there's an 80% chance I'm going to get on the phone with that person, versus when I just call somebody or I message somebody on TikTok, the likelihood of me getting through is maybe 1%. And so what I want to recommend that you do is that you start leveraging LinkedIn. When I message someone on LinkedIn, it doesn't go to their spam folder. They get the DM. When I send somebody an email, they also get an email from LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a powerful platform. Here's another crazy thing about LinkedIn, Jeff. And I know you want to say something, but I want to tell you this gangbuster thing about LinkedIn.
Go ahead.
On Instagram, if I follow somebody, do they automatically follow me back?
Not necessarily.
Guys, let me know in the chat. Do people follow you automatically in Instagram? Just write yes or no in the chat if they do or they don't. But on Facebook, people don't automatically follow me if I follow them. On Twitter, people don't automatically follow me if I follow them. On Instagram, it's the same thing. If I follow someone, they're not necessarily following me back. But on LinkedIn, when I connect with someone on LinkedIn, you just hit that connect button. When you hit connect with someone on LinkedIn, they automatically follow you when they accept. That is crazy. There is no other platform that allows you to connect with 30,000 people and automatically get 30,000 followers. So if you're a sales rep and you're not sending between 100 to 150 new connection requests every single day, you are missing out on getting followers. And if you're not sending it out to your prospects, you're missing out, and your competitors are doing this. Now, we have an agent that we call the connector agent that will automatically send connection requests every single day on your behalf and or the behalf of your team. So if you need help with that, you can reach out to me personally, and I can set up a connector agent for your business that will automatically connect with people, automatically message people, automatically in-mail people on LinkedIn. That is a little behind the scenes of something that I do because it doesn't really comply with everything that LinkedIn stands for. But what I want to let you know is that if you want results, you need to use automation. You need some major automation going on. But LinkedIn, 30,000 followers by just having 30,000 connections, this is a hack that people don't even know. They don't, oh, I can connect with people on LinkedIn even if I don't know them? Hell yeah, you could. Just click on the My Network tab and look at how many people it's suggesting that you connect with. Just hit connect. Connect 100 times. Or don't do it yourself. You want me to do it for you? I'll just set up an agent and it'll do it for you. I have an agent that sends happy birthdays every single day to all the people automatically. I don't have to do anything. That is crazy. That is crazy. That's our connector agent. But if you don't have an agent making phone calls for you, I have an agent right now. If you go to strategy.evyai.com, you can have a voice conversation with an agent right now. They'll give you a phone number. You call her up, and she'll brainstorm LinkedIn ideas for you. And while you're on the phone, she'll talk to you. I call her she because her name is Ava. She came from my rib. She literally came from, I pulled out a rib, and I made an AI agent from my rib. RIB.
Joe, I always tell salespeople that you've got to be on LinkedIn because that's where your prospects are. Your prospects are hanging out on LinkedIn. You're crazy not to be there. But you mentioned something a few moments ago that you've got to be using it correctly. And one of the things I find is, so many salespeople are using LinkedIn, what I consider to be wrong. So they connect with somebody, and then when somebody connects with them, they immediately send out a DM explaining why they want to talk to them about whatever it is they have to sell. Am I correct? This is absolutely the wrong way to develop business. Am I right? And what's the right way?
Okay, so LinkedIn is a professional network, which means it's a 24/7 networking event. If you want to be successful at a networking event, the last thing you want to do is the advice that I got from a life insurance salesperson at my first networking event. He said, Joe, I see that you're scared. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to pull out your business cards. I pulled out a stack. He's like, you're going to walk over to the 100 people in this room, and you're just going to hand them a business card. And you are going to hope that one of them buys from you. And let me tell you, this works for me in the life insurance world. And so I said, wow, if it works for him, it might work for me. So I took this bad advice, and I handed every person a business card, and then I left. And I sat on the train feeling like a piece of crap because I didn't build one relationship at that networking event. It's the same thing with LinkedIn. If you're spraying and praying on LinkedIn, you're not going to be successful. What you need to do is you need to build meaningful relationships with people. That means get to know them. Look at their profile. Make sure that you ask them a question about something that you found on their profile. When I pick up the phone, if I pick up the phone and I call a connection, and I do this often, my goal is to do this 10 times a day. So I pick up the phone and I see Jeff Goldberg. Jeff Goldberg picks up the phone, answers, hey, Jeff Goldberg and Associates, how can I help your sales problems? Be like, Jeff, I just realized that you have the most beautiful dog I've ever seen in my life. I saw you posted him on LinkedIn. What's his name? And now all of a sudden you're like, who is this? This is Joe Apfelbaum, your LinkedIn connection. You may not know me, but I literally commented on your last 50 posts. And he's like, of course I know you. You're the only one commenting on my posts. You're awesome, Joe. I love you. And by the way, his name is Doug or whatever, right? His name is Duke or his name is George or his name is Sally. And all of a sudden, now I know your dog's name. I put it into unlimited digital marketing. It's in the CRM, and I'll never forget it. And every time I call you, I have a reason to call you. My reason to call you, look at that. Look at Duke. Everyone, look at Duke. Duke's the best. Guys, if you have a pet, tell me what type of pet you have in the comment below. Let me know if you have a monkey or a chicken or a dolphin. I would love to know what type of pet you have. Personally, I don't have a pet officially, but our company has a pet called Basil. Basil is a cute white Samoyed. She is 8 years old. She was born the same time that my youngest daughter was born, Rosie. I have 5 kids, so I'm not getting a pet right now, but my daughter really wants to get a cat. Let me know in the chat if you're a dog person or a cat person. If you're a dog person, write woof, woof. If you're a cat person, write meow in the chat. I always like to keep things fun. You know me, Jeff. I'm not just going to sit here and have this dry, boring LinkedIn Live. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna have fun.
I'm just waiting to see if anybody actually has a dolphin as a pet, because I'm waiting to see that. No comments on that yet. So we know the wrong way to use LinkedIn is to, just pitch slap. Thanks for connecting with me. Want to buy some of what I got. How can we use it? It's really about developing that relationship and earning the right to have the sales conversation, correct? And if so, how do we do that?
The way that you do that is that I believe in the greeting, feeding, and meeting system. By the way, write that down in the chat. Greeting, feeding, and meeting. What I love about the greeting, feeding, and meeting is that when you're greeting somebody, when you're in Walmart and you're working for Walmart, what's the thing you do when you stand by the door? You say, welcome to Walmart. Not, do you want to buy from Walmart? We have some chocolate for sale. That you do at a department store. When you walk into Walmart, you just get a greeting and you feel comfortable, and now you're opened a little bit more. When somebody connects with me on LinkedIn, the first thing I'll do is I'll greet them. If they don't respond to my greeting, I'm going to keep greeting them until they respond to me. I love greeting people. I love saying happy Halloween, happy Sukkot, happy New Year, happy birthday, happy whatever. Oh, it's Scorpio season. Are you a Scorpio? Whatever. Like, I'm going to greet people, and I'm going to greet them until I get a response. Once I get a response from them, then I'm not going to start selling them. I'm going to feed them. People love to get fed. I don't know about you. What's your favorite food? In the chat, Jeff, what do you like to eat? You mentioned pastrami earlier. That's probably up there on your
one
list
of many
favorite.
things I like to eat. I know
sushi. You love sushi.
I like all Asian food.
All Asian food.
Barbecue spare ribs. That's my favorite.
Barbecue spare ribs. I think one time we went to do barbecue spare ribs at some point in our life together. We should do barbecue spare ribs at some point. Let's make that a list of things to do before the end of the year. Me and you, barbecue spare ribs. Oh, he's in. Anybody want to join us? Let me know in the chat if you want to join us. We'll meet
in Brooklyn because there's the best place in the world for spare ribs.
Okay. Guys, if you're in, just say I'd like to join. Let me know in the chat. It'll only be $997 for you to join.
Just go to EvyAI.com and
or be super entertaining. I always tell people, someone's like, Joe, I want to pick your brain for coffee. I was like, either you're going to pay me or you're going to entertain me. Those are the two different things you're going to do. You have to decide which one you want to do. You pay me or entertain me. So what I tell people is greeting, feeding, and meeting. So how do you feed somebody on LinkedIn? The way that you feed somebody on LinkedIn is you either do the Adrian Miller method, which is introductions, informations, or invitations. So introductions means, hey, who would you like to meet? And the person's like, oh, I'd like to meet doctors. It's like, ooh, is there a doctor in the house? And all of a sudden you're like, yep, there's a doctor in the house, and I can introduce you to a doctor. Information is like, hey, can I send you some info about X, Y, and Z? I see that you're in this business and you probably have this issue. And probably they're going to say, of course, send me that information. I'd love to get it. Like if I messaged any engaged LinkedIn user and I say, hey, I see that your posts are not getting any likes. I do have a reason why. Can I make you a quick 3-minute video and show you why they're not getting likes? The person will be like, of course, send it to me. And so I'm sending information or invitations. Hey, I'm going to an event tomorrow. I'm doing a webinar in 2 weeks. And if you'd like to join, I'm happy to send you an invitation. Now, I don't just send them the invitation because that would be shoving my business card in their throat. I first ask for permission because coaching without permission is criticism. Often, I'll offer something to somebody that's just helpful, and they'll say, not interested, leave me alone. On LinkedIn, they'll do that. They'll be like, oh, not interested, Joe. Leave me alone. Why are you bothering me? Why have you been greeting me all these years? I hate it. I hate that you're greeting me. I hate it so much, in fact. I just mute, discard, goodbye, block, have a good day. I got plenty of people in my life. I don't have time for this bullshit. You get what I'm saying? There are so many people that are going to be negative. If you haven't gotten a complaint by 12 p.m. from somebody that you're prospecting to or networking with, you're not prospecting hard enough. Okay? If you have not received a complaint today, if someone hasn't said, stop calling me, then you have not calling enough people. You have to get that by 12 p.m. every single day, get someone to get angry at you. This really worked when I was married. It worked really easy. I would just call somebody and they would get angry at me. But right now, what you need to do is figure out not how to get people angry, but how to reach out to enough people so that you'll reach out to an angry person. That's just what happens. You can't control somebody else's state. If you reach out to 10,000 people, I promise you're going to hit one angry person. And they're going to respond with some negative whatever, and hopefully it doesn't stop you from prospecting because you have to believe in your product so much that you're willing to reach out to people, but not in a salesy way. You want to offer things. You want to build relationships. Also, what I like to feed people with is appreciation. I will literally say, thank you for connecting with me on LinkedIn. Thank you for liking my post. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for visiting my profile. Thank you for existing in this beautiful world. I literally sent this woman a message yesterday saying, you are one of the most incredible, unbelievable, wonderful people that I'm connected to here on LinkedIn. I just want to take a moment and acknowledge your beauty, both internal and external. And this woman replied to me, you just made my day. I printed it and framed it. I was like, wow.
That.
She printed it and framed it. Now I'm literally on her desk. I sent her a love letter, and I'm on her desk. And I made sure to say internally and externally because I'm not hitting on her. I know that she's taken, but I wanted to acknowledge her because she is a center of influence. She's a referral partner. And so I acknowledge this person in such a deep, meaningful way, and I knew that I had permission to do that because we've met in person, and I have that type of relationship with the person. But think about what that does for somebody when you're feeding them. And then the third step is once you greet them and then you feed them. And by the way, if you guys are getting value in the chat, I want to see at least 20 values. So write value. And if you get 20x value, write value in 20 separate comments. I want to try that out right now. I'm going to do one value myself because I'm getting value from this. I'm getting chills. That's how much value I'm getting.
You're getting chills from yourself.
From myself.
I want to talk to you about value, Joe, because one of the things that you do is you provide massive value. And one of the ways you do that is by using LinkedIn Live. Tell us what LinkedIn Live is and why are you constantly doing those?
I'm on LinkedIn Live almost every single day. And the reason I go on LinkedIn Live is because on LinkedIn, you can only post a 10 or 15-minute video. By the way, I don't see the word value coming in. So guys, keep putting the word value. Put it over and over and over in the comments because the more comments we get, even from the same person, the more this video will get out there. So write value, value, value. If you got a lot of value, just keep writing the word value. See how many times you can get it out there. So what I want to say is that LinkedIn Live has transformed who I am and how I present. I used to go on Facebook Live a lot, and Facebook Live maybe will get 20 or 30 people to join at any given time if I'm doing it impromptu. But on LinkedIn Live, I'll usually get 100 to 200 people to watch every single LinkedIn Live, and some of them it's for 3 hours. I'll be on a video for 3 hours just talking or just working, and people will join me along the way. Now, even if 3 or 5 or 7 centers of influence, CEOs, business owners, decision makers, sales trainers watch my thing or watch a portion of it, it's worth it for me just to show up. It's like me showing up. 95% of getting the job is showing up. So on LinkedIn, I want to show up and I just want to be there. I want to be there for when somebody logs in. They're like, oh, Joe's live again. Let's see what he's doing. And they check in for 10, 15 minutes, see what I'm doing. And chances are I'm networking, prospecting, connecting, building relationships, giving tips, answering questions. And that also helps me create shorts. On LinkedIn, you might say, what are shorts? Are shorts underwear? No. I'm not talking about those types of shorts. I'm talking about those small 1-minute videos that you see when you're on your mobile device on LinkedIn. On the bottom, you're going to see it says home, and then it says videos. When you click on the videos, you can start swiping up on LinkedIn, and you're going to see 1-minute videos. Those are called shorts. So I have AI review my LinkedIn Lives and find the most viral minute out of an hour, and then it makes a clip out of it. I'm going to do this with this video. I'm going to go to YouTube. I'm going to grab the video of Jeff Goldberg once we're done. I'm going to throw it into artificial intelligence, and then it's going to pick the top 10 or top 20 viral moments, and it's going to turn it into a video that I'm going to be able to share on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, WhatsApp status, Telegram status. I can keep going on and on and on. But my point is that my ability to produce little videos and also long-form content and come up with ideas and stay top of mind, there's so many benefits to LinkedIn Live. But I just want to say that if you're not doing it right now, if you're not on LinkedIn Live, it's because you're just not showing up. And so I show up every single day. I got a really nice setup. I have a really nice microphone. I share my screen, and people watch me work. And that's going to be the future. The future is people are just going to be streaming all the time. And so I'm kind of getting into that future where there are going to be certain people that are just always streaming. You ever like work at a WeWork, Jeff? Have you ever worked at WeWork or one of these shared offices?
But I know what it is.
Yeah, so when you work at a WeWork, sometimes I'll work at a WeWork and it's all glass and people walk by and they see you working. So could you imagine if you worked on LinkedIn and people can walk by and see you working on LinkedIn, and then they stop by and they can leave a comment and say, hey, good to see you, good morning, good to see you. Could you imagine that? So it's almost like WeWork, you're co-working on LinkedIn. And so I just started doing it. I just started sharing what I do. Sometimes I'll have phone conversations with people. Sometimes I'll share new tools. Sometimes I'll research. And so I make it a point. This year I committed to going on LinkedIn Live 244 times. So far, I went on LinkedIn Live maybe 160, 170 times. counted, and some of them I messed up, and so I did 149 twice and 148 twice by accident. So like counting, I'm at like a 153 or something like that, or 151. So if you go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/@JoeApfelbaum, you click on live, you'll see all my lives are also on YouTube. So if you Google any of the words, every time I go live, I'll put a different sentence. Right now you wrote AI business development, AI expert Joe Apfelbaum as a sentence. I would write the sentence, how to get clients with AI, how to be better at sales. So every single time I go live, I actually name the live something people are typically able to search on Google or on ChatGPT, so that the video comes up there. So that's really, really powerful. So what I would say, guys, if you're not leveraging technology in that way, if you're not thinking about what is your client going to be searching for, if you're not putting yourself out there, and by the way, Jeff, here's another reason I do LinkedIn Live constantly. Every time I do it, I get better. You know this about stand-up comedy. If you don't do it often, you're going to suck. The more often you do it, the better you're going to get. I learned this from Tony Robbins. I don't know if you ever heard of him, but Tony Robbins is the world's most successful public speaker. He generates hundreds of millions of dollars from his speaking engagements. The question that I have for you guys is, have you heard of Tony Robbins? Are you a fan? You could write Tony fan or not a fan. Some women hate Tony Robbins, but many people love Tony Robbins. So I'm a big fan of his because I learned from him. He said most people do one speaking engagement like every month or every week, and they don't get very good. He's like, when I was 17, 18, learning to do speaking engagements, he's like, I would do them 3 to 4 times a day. Even if it meant I get up at a deli and do a speaking engagement, I would ask 5 people if they wanted to hear me talk, and I would get up and talk for 30 minutes in front of those 5 people. He's like, I would do that 3 times a day. In a week, I would be better than most people are in a year.
And you also do it on the beach.
I do it on the beach. I do it on the beach.
Joe, Ian wrote this. I'm betting you know what it is, but I have no idea. Do you have any idea?
So Ian wrote that. That is called JavaScript. So, or what you can do is or Python. What you can do is you can write code or have AI write code. And so he wrote code that said just write value 20 times. So yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, Joe, we're 57 minutes in. I'm pretty sure I've only asked you 3 questions, and I prepared about 57. Any last words? Because I do want to end on time. I've got another meeting, and I'm sure you have a million things to do. Any last words for the people who are listening on how they can end the year well? We've got 2 months left. What should they be doing now?
I want you to make a list of your top 1,000 people that are in your life that you need to connect with either this year or next year, and start connecting now. That means start wishing them a happy end of year, happy Thanksgiving, whatever it is. Start classifying them, put them in your CRM, make sure that you're organizing it. Kevin Kelly said that you have 1,000 fans, you have a 6-figure business. If you're not doing over 6 figures in personal income, it's probably because you don't know who your top 1,000 people are. Make that list today. If you need help with me creating a dashboard for you to help pick your 1,000 people, just go to strategy.evyai.com/dashboard. As a free gift for anybody watching this, I will make you a custom LinkedIn Connections dashboard, like the way that I've done one in the past for Jeff, but Jeff, it might be time for you to update yours. So strategy.evyai.com/dashboard. Upload it there. There's a video there that explains how to do it. I'll make you a dashboard. Pick your 1,000 people. If you don't have 1,000, pick 500. If you don't have 500, pick 100. If you don't have 100, pick your nose, because I don't know what the hell you're doing.
Joe, you gave people 75 things that they can go to buy something or reach out to you. How can people reach out to you if they didn't write all those down? What's the best way to reach you?
The easiest way to reach me is to send the word demo to 973-841-8868. When you send the word demo to 841-8868, you will get a demonstration video. I'll get your cell phone number, and then we can chat.
And I'm going to take a wild guess that people can reach out and connect with you on LinkedIn, yes?
Oh, hell yeah. By the way, go to my most recent post and leave a comment, because my most recent post is this video.
Joe Apfelbaum, I love you. Thank you so much. I'll end as I always do. Guys, please remember that sales is a game of making things happen. So get out there and make sales happen. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Joe. I love you.
Boom, 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 boom. Hit that repost button, baby. Hit that repost button and email this to 5 people that would get value.
See you, everybody. See you, Joe.
Bye.